So for the first time in almost a year, the giant pandas, they're back in D.C. As we speak, Bao Li and Qing are at the National Zoo getting adjusted to their new surroundings.
Yes, they are. Well, the zoo released this video of the bears checking out the newly renovated enclosure. And 7 News was on the tarmac of Dulles Airport yesterday morning as FedEx's Panda Express plane touched down. Now, the pandas had a long overnight trip flying from China and stopping in Alaska.
Yeah.
And then we know what Dulles is like.
Oh, right. To get out of there and finally get home is going to take you at least another hour, right? So the journey didn't stop at the airport. They went onto those FedEx trucks and they were taken to the zoo where people lined the streets hoping to catch a glimpse.
7 News' Joy Wang has been covering the arrival of Qing and Bao Li since we first learned they would be coming back to the National Zoo. And Joy, the zoo will reopen today, but not the panda enclosure. So if anyone's going out there, they will not get to see the new pandas.
Yeah, I mean, when you hear, okay, the zoo was closed yesterday because the pandas are going to be showing up, we get it. And then the zoo's going to be open today. You might think, okay, this is the time, right? I can see the pandas. Not yet. And the zoo did, over the past 10 minutes or so, put up new signs that you can see behind me that specifically say, meet the pandas. But you won't be able to do that until early next year. In fact, Qing and Bao Li, they're going through at least a 30-day quarantine process, and then they're going to have to adjust to those big crowds. And you get it, right? After a long flight, maybe you're jet lagged, nobody wants to just hop right back into their routine or get back to work. And these pandas, they're the same. They just were on a 19-hour journey starting in Chengdu, China, with a stop in Anchorage, Alaska, and then landing at Dulles before being loaded onto special trucks and then heading to the zoo. The animal care team says Bao Li and Qing exited their crates and began exploring their new indoor enclosures, where keepers had lots of bamboo for the bears to eat. The pandas are quarantining again for at least 30 days, which is routine for new animals. And the two will be inside the panda house, where keepers, nutritionists, and veterinarians will take care of them the entire time. In fact, crews from China are also here to help with that transition process. Access to the giant panda habitat, birdhouse, and Asia Trail will be closed until the pandas make their public debut for mark your calendars on January 24th, which is why so many people lined the streets to try and catch a glimpse as these new DC residents made their way to their new home.
I was here when the last set of pandas left, was walking by and cried when they left, and now I'm almost going to cry now that there's pandas back at the zoo. So very exciting day for Washington, D.C.
We're going to hear more from zoo officials later on this morning to see exactly how the pandas are doing. In the meantime, though, you're going to want to mark your calendars for early next year. There is a way to get a sneak preview. Volunteers, members, stakeholders, staff, as well as others involved in this process, they will help these pandas adjust to those large crowds in the meantime before they're ready to be open to the public.
You know, Joy, it's just so long to wait. We will have inaugurated a new president before members of the general public are going to be able to see these pandas. But to that end, how can people make sure that they're, ready and lined up to get to see the pandas once they go on display for everyone?
Okay, so January 24th, that's the official day, right? But members starting in mid-December, they can actually go online and try and get a timed entry, a free pass to be able to see them as early as January 10th. That's kind of part of the process to able to help them acclimate to those larger groups, larger crowds that are going to be showing up. Meanwhile, the Panda Cam, the fan favorite Panda Cam, that'll be up and running on January 24th as well if you can make it down to the zoo before then. And if you'd like, you can also follow the zoo on social media. We, of course, will continue to share those videos as well because the zoo will be providing those behind-the-scenes looks in the meantime.